The real cost of subscriptions, how small monthly becomes permanent debt. Open your banking app and scroll back 60 days. Not your budget spreadsheet. Not your, I think I spend about, estimate. Your actual transaction feed. 99, 99, 99, 99, 99. Each one is small enough to feel like nothing. Small enough to ignore. But here's the word part. If I asked you to take on a new monthly payment, like a loan payment, even a small one, you'd think about it. You'd hesitate. You'd do the math. Subscriptions don't feel like debt until you try to quit. Until your paycheck hits and a dozen little hands reach into it automatically. Before you save, before you invest, before you do anything. That's what we're breaking down today. The real cost of subscriptions and how small monthly quietly turns into a permanent claim on your future income. Not with hype, not with guilt, with mechanics. Because most people don't have a spending problem. They have a systems problem. And subscriptions are one of the most common system leaks in modern personal finance. So, before we talk tactics, we need to define the real cost, because it's not the sticker price. Price versus obligation, the core misunderstanding. Most people evaluate subscriptions like they evaluate products. But subscriptions aren't a product purchase. They're an obligation. A one-time purchase ends by default. A subscription continues by default. That default matters more than the monthly price. Let's compare two scenarios. Scenario A. You buy a jacket for $120. One time. Painful maybe, but it's done. It doesn't follow you around next month. Scenario B. You get an app for $10 a month. You use it for 3 months. Then life changes. You stop opening it, but you never cancel. That app doesn't cost you $30. It costs you $10 a month until you actively intervene. And the business model is built around the fact that most people don't intervene. Not because they're irresponsible, because they're busy, because it's annoying. A subscription is not a price. It's a recurring claim on your income. ? Now let's quantify why small monthly becomes big money faster than your intuition expects. J. The subscription snowball math. Monthly becomes annual, becomes decade. Your brain is bad at subscription math for a simple reason. You evaluate monthly, but you live in annual budgets. Rent is annual. Insurance is annual. Taxes are annual. Your financial progress is annual. But subscriptions present themselves in tiny units, so they feel harmless. $99 a month. That feels like a fast food meal. It feels like nothing. $99 a month is basically $180 a year. Now stack 5 subscriptions like that. Streaming, music, cloud storage, some productivity tool, some premium upgrade you got during a free trial. 5 times $180 is about $900 a year. Now extend that out. Over 10 years, you're at $9,000. And that's before price increases, before you add new ones, before the family plan upgrade. Before the tier creep, where basic becomes unusable and standard becomes the new normal. This is why subscriptions are so effective as a business model. They don't need to charge you a lot. They just need to charge you forever. Here's a quick mini case study that will sound familiar. A friend signs up for 3 subscriptions in 1 month. $99 for a streaming trial. $99 for an app that removes ads. $99 for a fitness platform. $97 a month. Again, doesn't feel like much, but annualized, that's about $516 a year. That's a car repair. That's a weekend trip. That's a meaningful chunk of an emergency fund. And it's not a one-time hit. It's a perpetual drain. And that's only the visible math. The hidden math is what that money could have become. Hashtag the hidden cost. Opportunity cost, compounding versus leaking. That's good advice, but it's incomplete. Because the real cost isn't just what you paid. It's what you prevented. One job is to buy your life today. The other job is to buy your freedom later. Subscriptions quietly steal from the second job. Not dramatically, not in a way you feel today, but in a way you absolutely feel in 5 to 10 years, when your savings is thinner than it should be. Let's keep it conservative. Say subscriptions are leaking $100 a month from your budget. That could be 5 to 10 small services. If that $100 a month instead went into an investment account, nothing exotic, no hype, just a basic diversified approach. Over 10 years, you're not just talking about the $12,000 you contributed. You're talking about that money having time to compound. And compounding isn't magical. It's simply this. Money that stays invested gets to earn returns on returns. Subscriptions do the opposite. They reset your surplus every month back to zero. They don't just cost you money. They reduce your ability to build momentum. So why do smart people keep paying? Because subscription businesses are engineered to make stopping feel harder than paying. The engineering, auto-renew, and friction asymmetry. Most subscription systems have the same architecture. Sign-up is frictionless. Cancellation is frictional. That imbalance is the whole game. You can sign up in one tap from a couch, half distracted, because the button is bright and the benefit is immediate. But cancellation? Cancellation lives behind menus, settings, account, manage plan, confirm, confirm again. Sometimes you can't even cancel on the website if you subscribed through an app store. Sometimes you have to email support. Sometimes you have to cancel on a desktop, not mobile. This is friction asymmetry, making the behavior they want easy and the behavior they don't want annoying. And friction changes behavior more than logic. That's why "I'll cancel later" is so expensive. Because later is when you're tired. Later is when you're busy. Later is when the charge already happened again. This friction doesn't just waste time. It changes your baseline. It turns subscriptions into background utilities, even when they're not necessary. And now we add the psychology that makes them feel invisible. Hashtag the psychology. Normalization, split payments, and the pain of paying. When you feel the payment, you evaluate the purchase. When you don't feel the payment, you stop evaluating. Subscriptions are designed to minimize that pain. They split a larger cost into a smaller unit. And smaller units don't trigger your "this is serious" alarms. A $240 annual fee feels like a decision, even if you barely use the service. And the longer it runs, the more normal it feels. This is normalization. After 6 months, it doesn't even register as spending. That's why you can feel broke and still keep paying for things you don't even like. Because you're not consciously choosing them anymore. You're maintaining them. Now connect this to the part that gets dangerous. When subscriptions become debt mechanics. LO. When subscriptions become debt, the cash flow trap plus credit cards. Here's where small monthly stops being a budgeting annoyance and becomes something structurally similar to debt. Debt is basically this: a fixed claim on future income. If subscriptions create fixed claims on future income, and your income is tight, you have a problem. Not because subscriptions are evil, because your cash flow has less room to breathe. Now add credit cards. This is the trap. You go through a month. You pay rent, you buy food, you cover transportation, you handle life. And then you're short $150 at month end. Not because you went wild, because your fixed obligations are too high, so the card covers it. You tell yourself you'll pay it off next month, but next month your subscriptions renew again. Your fixed costs repeat, and you're short again. Now you're revolving a balance, not because of a one-time emergency, but because the system is designed with too many automatic withdrawals. At that point, subscription spending isn't just spending. It's part of the machinery that keeps you borrowing to maintain your baseline. And once you revolve a balance, you add interest. Interest is when the tiny monthly charge becomes real debt math. $99.99 plus the opportunity cost, plus the interest you incur because your cash flow is strained. This is why high earners can still feel broke, because they have high fixed obligations, not necessarily extravagant one-time purchases. Now, let's make it concrete with a simple balance sheet view. Balance sheet view, subscriptions as liabilities on your future income. Think of your life like a simple operating statement. Income comes in. Then, fixed obligations come out. Then, variable spending happens. Then, whatever is left becomes savings and investing. Here's the structure. Income, fixed obligations, variable spending, savings, investing. Subscriptions sit in the fixed obligations category, even though you think of them as optional. And that's the key. If subscriptions rise, savings becomes the shock absorber. Not because you decide to save less, because saving is what's left after the system runs. So every subscription you add is a permanent reduction in your financial resilience. It reduces your ability to handle a surprise expense without stress. It reduces your ability to invest consistently. It reduces your ability to say no at work, because the more fixed claims you have, the more dependent you are on constant income with no interruption. That's the permanent debt feeling, not a loan contract, but a life contract. The solution is to build a subscription system that serves you, not the other way around. We start with an audit. Hashtag the subscription audit. Find, label, and calculate the annual run rate. You can't control what you don't measure, and subscriptions thrive in the dark. So step 1 is a full inventory, not an estimate, a list. Here's a simple 15-minute method that works even if you hate budgeting. Step 1. Pull 90 days of transactions. Open your banking app, credit card app, or export your transactions into a spreadsheet. 90 days is enough to catch monthly charges and most quarterly charges. Harlan's Step 2. Filter for repeating merchants. Look for names that appear more than once. Streaming services, app stores, software tools, memberships, delivery subscriptions, cloud storage. Also, look for the sneaky ones, services that bill through a parent company name you don't recognize. Hashtag Step 3. Create 3 labels. Next to each subscription, label it. Must have. It directly supports health, work, or core life operations. Nice to have. You enjoy it, you use it, but you could live without it. Annualize everything. Self-explanatory. Be honest. This isn't moral, it's mechanical. Step 4. Annualize everything. Convert each subscription into an annual run rate. Monthly times 12, quarterly times 4, annual stays annual. 99 app becomes $120 a year. 99 membership becomes $240 a year. Now you can see what's actually happening, and you'll usually find a pattern. The money isn't in one giant subscription. It's in the pile. Inventory is diagnosis. Next is redesign, starting with eliminating the ones that survive only because they're hidden. The cancellation framework. Keep 3, pause 3, kill 3. Willpower fails because willpower is vague. Frameworks work because frameworks are specific. Here's a rule I like because it's simple and it reduces overwhelm. Keep 3, pause 3. You don't need to optimize everything today. You need to change the direction. Keep 3. These are high-usage, high-value subscriptions. Things that truly matter. Example, core internet or phone plan. Essential software you use to earn income. A health-related service you use consistently. The rule here, if it's part of your income engine or your health engine, it stays, unless you can downgrade without losing the core value. Space pause 3. These are the seasonal or occasional subscriptions. Most entertainment subscriptions belong here. Streaming is the best example. You do not need 5 streaming services running at the same time. You need one, so rotate them. Pick one for this month. When you finish the show you wanted, pause it and switch to another next month. Same with many fitness apps. Same with learning platforms. Use them intensely for a season, then pause them by default. If you didn't use it in the last 30 days, it goes into this category automatically. And here's the key rule that makes this work. That's the mental unlock. You're not deleting it from your life forever. You're removing it from your fixed obligations until it earns its place back. Now we lock the whole thing in, because subscriptions regrow if you don't build barriers. And build the system. One subscription card, renewal day, price increase defense. The goal is to make subscriptions visible, containable, and reviewable. Not to rely on memory, not to rely on motivation. A system. Number 1. Use one dedicated subscription card. Put all subscriptions on one credit card, debit card, or virtual card. Not because debt is good, because organization is good. When subscriptions are spread across 2 bank accounts, 2 cards, and 3 app stores, you lose awareness. When they're centralized, you can see the total instantly. And here's a practical advantage. If you ever need to cut spending fast, you know exactly where the lever is. Hashtag 2. Create a monthly renewal day. Once a month, 10 minutes. Same day every month. On that day, you review the subscription list and ask 3 questions. Did I use this? Did the price change? Would I buy this again today, at this price, if I had to manually re-enter my card? That last question is powerful because it removes autopilot. 3. Build a price increase rule. Price increases are where subscription costs quietly inflate. So create a default policy. D. Re-justify. Because $2 times 10 subscriptions times 12 months is real money. And it trains your brain to treat price increases like renegotiations, not inevitabilities. 4. Use annual plans only for forever tools. Annual plans can save money, but only when the tool is genuinely permanent in your life. If you're still experimenting, stick to monthly so you can exit easily. Annual plans are great when you're sure. They're expensive when you're guessing. Now let's turn all of this into a simple 7-day reset you can actually execute. Hashtag recap plus a 7-day action plan. Subscriptions feel small, but they operate like a system of permanent claims on your future income. That's why they feel like debt when your cash flow is tight. And the solution is not shame. It's design, measurement, rules, and review. Here's a clean 7-day plan. Hashtag Day 1. Audit 90 days of transactions. Find every repeating charge. Don't debate. Just list. Day 2. Annualize everything. Convert every subscription to its annual run rate. This step creates clarity fast. Hashtag Day 3. Keep 3, pause 3, kill 3. Triage, don't optimize. If you cancel nothing else, kill the forgot I had this category. Day 4. Move all subscriptions to one card. Centralize the system so it's visible. Hashtag Day 5. Rotate one entertainment subscription. Cancel all but one streaming service. Pick the one you'll use this month. Set a calendar reminder to switch next month if you want. Day 6. Downgrade or renegotiate one plan. Look for tiers you don't need. Maybe you don't need extra storage. Maybe you don't need the ad-free version. One downgrade often pays for 2 other things you actually value. Day 7. Set your monthly renewal day and a subscription cap. The cap can be simple. A cap turns infinite growth into a controlled category. Because the hidden danger of subscriptions isn't any one service. It's that they stack, and they never stop, unless you make stopping the default. If you build this system once, you don't have to fight the same battle every month. You'll know what you're paying for. You'll know why. And you'll stop letting small monthly quietly become permanent debt. Next, we'll map this same system logic onto lifestyle creep, so your raises stop disappearing the moment they arrive.